3 years ago, my friend Ray bought a phone that cost almost 2 months of his salary. Not because he needed it, not because his old phone stopped working, but because the new one looked amazing. Everyone online was talking about it, and the ad made it feel like owning that phone meant you were successful. 2 months later, he was struggling to pay his credit card bill, and his old phone would have worked perfectly fine. This is the difference between emotional buying and practical buying. And whether we realize it or not, most of us make emotional purchases every single week. Today, we're going to break down what emotional buying really is, what practical buying looks like, why companies push emotional decisions, and how you can avoid wasting money. Let's start with a simple story. The sneaker purchase. A college student named Aaron walked past a shoe store one evening. In the window, he saw a pair of sneakers. Bright colors, stylish design, limited edition. A big sign said, "Only today, 40% off." Aaron didn't plan to buy shoes that day, but suddenly his brain started talking. These look amazing. Everyone will notice them. And it's a discount. I'll save money. Within 10 minutes, he bought them. They cost nearly half his monthly allowance. For the first week, he loved them. But after a month, they stayed in his cupboard most of the time. Why? Because they weren't comfortable for daily wear. He already had 2 pairs of perfectly good shoes. What happened here? Aaron didn't buy shoes. He bought excitement. He bought the feeling of getting a deal. He bought the idea of looking cool. That's emotional buying. What emotional buying really is. Emotional buying happens when feelings control a decision instead of logic. Common emotional triggers include excitement, fear of missing out, stress relief, social pressure, status or prestige. Let me give you another story. Phoebe had a stressful week at work. Deadlines, meetings, pressure. On Friday night, she opened an online shopping app just to browse. Within 30 minutes, she bought a dress, a bag, and a pair of sunglasses. She felt happy while placing the order. It felt like a reward. But when the credit card bill arrived later that month, she realized she had spent far more than planned. Did she need those items? Not really. But at that moment, shopping made her feel better. This is called emotional spending, and millions of people do it. Shopping becomes a temporary mood booster. The practical buyer. Now, let's look at a different type of buyer. Meet Sawyer. His laptop stopped working after 6 years. He needed a new one for work. Instead of buying immediately, he did something simple. He spent 2 days researching. He compared performance, battery life, price, durability, reviews. He ignored fancy marketing and focused on what he actually needed. Finally, he chose a mid-range laptop that cost much less than the high-end models. 3 years later, that laptop still works perfectly. Sawyer didn't buy based on excitement. He bought based on usefulness. That's practical buying. Practical buyers usually ask questions like, do I actually need this? How often will I use it? Is there a cheaper option that does the same job? Will this still be useful next year? Practical buying focuses on long-term value. Why companies want you to buy emotionally? Now, here's the interesting part. Most companies don't want you to think logically when buying, because logical buyers compare prices, research alternatives, and sometimes decide not to buy at all. Emotional buyers buy quickly. So brands design advertisements to trigger feelings. Let me tell you about a marketing experiment. 2 watches were displayed in a store. The first watch had a label, stainless steel, accurate movement, durable design. The second watch had a label, where the watch successful people choose. Guess which one sold more? The second one. Not because it was better, but because it sold an identity. Companies often sell confidence, luxury, success, belonging, instead of just selling a product. That's why advertisements show happy families, successful professionals, or exciting lifestyles. They are not selling the product. They are selling a feeling. The sale trap. Let me tell you about something that happens during big sales. During a festival sale, Rowan opened an online store. He saw a banner. Mega sale. Up to 70% off. He started browsing. Soon his cart had headphones, a smartwatch, 2 shirts, a phone case. Total cost, $800. But the app showed something clever. You saved $200. Rowan felt proud. He thought he had made a smart decision. But later he realized something. He didn't save $200. He spent $800. And he only really needed the headphones. This is a classic psychological trick. Discounts make us focus on how much we save instead of how much we spend. Problems with emotional buying. When emotional buying becomes frequent, several problems appear. First, money disappears faster than expected. Small impulse purchases add up. Second, people accumulate in used items. Closets filled with clothes rarely worn. Drawers filled with gadgets rarely used. Third, emotional spending can create financial stress. Some people even use credit cards for impulse purchases. Finally, the happiness from buying something new is usually temporary. Psychologists call this the dopamine effect. The excitement of buying fades quickly. Then the brain looks for the next purchase to recreate that feeling, and the cycle repeats. The truth is, emotional buying isn't always bad. Buying a gift for someone you love, celebrating a milestone, treating yourself occasionally. These purchases can create wonderful memories. But when emotions control most of our spending, we lose control of our finances. The smartest buyers balance emotion and practicality. So next time you're about to buy something, pause and ask yourself one simple question. Am I buying this because I truly need it, or because I just feel like buying it right now? That small pause can save you thousands of dollars every year. And now I'm curious. Think about your last purchase. Was it emotional or practical? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos on psychology, money, and smarter decision making. See you in the next video.